Hey guys, I'm back. I am back. And so is she. Y'all want to know where the hell I've been for the last several months, huh? Well, I'll tell you all about it in a few minutes. Bust that intro. Man, what is going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? I'm back, guys. I am back. So, yeah, let me tell you guys a little what's going on for the last several months. Trying to get this thing to the shop so I can get her up and running again. It all started like in the springtime, I've seen everybody got their bikes out. I've seen all the motor vloggers that I've seen, they got their bikes out. They're out there riding. I see everybody else riding there, mostly everybody except me. So I started calling these tow companies around the area where I live. And I called and said, hey, you tow motorcycles? And I said, no, we don't tow motorcycles. We tow for the police department or highway patrol, whatever. And I called some that are required for them to leave from a certain area like Hilton Head or Buford for $500 to go and pick them up and then take it to the shop where it's located. So I kept calling around for more quotes on how to get the bike towed. And so I got home. So before I left home from my second job. I went to this gas station and I saw this tow truck. And I asked the driver and asked, "Hey, do you tow motorcycles to the? Do you tow motorcycles?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah, because I want to try and get my bike to the shop so I can get the tires and the batteries replaced." He said, "Yeah, we'll do that." I said, he gave me his card and everything, and cool. I was ready to go. So I called the tow company the following day. He said, "Yeah, we tow a motorcycle, but we also do motorcycle tires too." I said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." Does it have spoke rims? He says, I told him, "No, it doesn't have spoke rims. It's a sport bike." "Oh, okay. Well, it'll be like $30 a piece." And I told him I got the tires that I could bring with me. I got the tires to go with it. I was like, cool. So I thought everything was going to work out. When I got there a couple of days later, I said, "Hey, I went to the tow company." I said, "No, you got to go to the tire shop." I said, "Really?" So I went to the tire shop. He said, "Hey, I understand you change motorcycle tires." I said, "Yeah, does it have spokes on it?" I said, "No, it's a sport bike." "Oh, well, the thing is, this is where things get complicated." He said, well, the thing is, my insurance company won't allow me to take the wheels off the bike." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, well, I know there's a couple of guys that can do it down the street. They can take the wheels off of it, but it's probably gonna cost you a little bit more. But then you bring the wheels and we'll put the tires on for you, and vice versa." I was like, "Oh, this guy's giving me the runaround." I said, "No thanks, man. I'm good."
A few moments later.
So yeah, back to my story. I had to get some gas. So after that little trying to get me to go do a runaround fiasco, after that little runaround fiasco, the next possible thing for me, and the last only option was to get a U-Haul truck. So I went ahead, went on home, put in a reservation for a truck, U-Haul truck, and I scheduled to pick it up for about 8 o'clock in the morning. But when I got there, I was running a little late, but there was nobody there. So I just went home and scrapped the first reservation, and then a couple of days later, I realized I needed some tie downs for the bike. Hold on. Yeah, I needed some tie downs for the bike, so I went on to Cycle Gear in Savannah to go pick them up, which is what I did. And then I went ahead and made up another reservation, but this one is local. It was on a Saturday, another Saturday. I got there. The lady was there. I handed her my reservation. I paid some money. Went home. Tried to put the bike up on the ramp. Only thing is, this bike was heavy to go up on the ramp, and I was trying to get up there as much as I can, but I realized I started hurting my wrist. So I went ahead and see if I could try and fire it up so I could roll it up in there, which is what I did. But before I tell you how I tie down the bike, I saw this video a few days before. I searching YouTube on how to tie a motorcycle in a U-Haul truck, and I came across this one that I saw that this guy, he had a speed triple, and he was riding with his buddies, and all of a sudden his bike started to broke down. So in order for him to get back home, he had to rent a U-Haul truck. So he got some tie downs, and he tied it down in such a way the bike wouldn't move. Even he had a kickstand down to prevent the bike from moving. Now, if you guys are interested in that video, I can find it and I can drop that link in the description below this video. So anyway, I got the bike tied down. Finally got it down to the motorcycle shop. Yeah, what's going on down here? Uh-oh. Damn, looks like somebody done went off the road. Yep. Looks like somebody went off the road. Damn. Yeah, anyway, yeah, I tied it. I had the bike tied down just the way he had it. Got it down to the shop. I said, "Hey, help me get this bike off the truck." And he told me, then the owner came out and told me and said, "Hey, we're gonna look over the bike and make sure everything's okay before we, dive deep into what needs to be done on it." I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, all I need was I told him all I need was I got new tires put on and possibly a new battery because it's been sitting for a while." I said, "Well, we'll check everything, blah 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 blah. We'll make sure everything will go right for you and all this and that. We'll put tires on you for everything." And he quoted me for about close to $300 to get it all done. I was happy that I was going home happy that it was going to be done. So I took the truck back to U-Haul, took it right back to U-Haul. I didn't keep it for very long. I said, and the lady said, "Well, damn, you didn't keep it for very long, do you? I said, no, I don't play around when it comes to getting stuff done. So I took the truck back, went back home. So about a couple of days later, I'm starting to feel some soreness on my hand, on my left hand. I said, well, it's nothing. I went home. I went to work the next day, same issue. It was just soreness from pushing the bike. But then 2 days later, I realized I was working that day, and I realized my hand started to swell up so bad I could barely move my wrist. And then I told my supervisor, I think I hurt my arm my wrist for some reason. He said, "You okay?" I said, "No, not really. I tried icing it down and everything. So I worked through the pain at my second job. And when I got home, I was in pain. I could not sleep. The pain in my wrist kept me up just about all night long. And I finally called, and it was like around 5:30 in the morning. And I called my supervisor, "Hey, man, my wrist is getting bad. I'm gonna have to go to the hospital." So I went to the hospital that next morning. I checked into a hospital. I went to the emergency room. And they looked at my arm. They did the x-ray. I did the paperwork and all this and that. Blah, blah, blah. So I went ahead. So like I said, I went to the emergency room, did the paperwork. They checked out my arm. They did X-rays. They said I didn't break anything, but turns out I sprained it. So I had to go. So I had to take off work for a few days for it to swell down. But before that, they had ended up giving me a prescription to ease the pain. But the thing is, that medication could cause me to go to sleep. It could put me to sleep. Because if I'm driving and I take that stuff out, that's not gonna look good. So a few days later, I went in. I was out of work at both my jobs. So I couldn't work for a while. I couldn't work for like several days for this wrist to heal down. Until several days later, about a week later, the doctor looked at my wrist and said, "Yeah, everything's fine." Then he finally cleared me to work. So I'm back to work again. And I'm back to riding again. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I picked up the bike during that time. So I went ahead and picked up the bike at that time. I was happy. I just went straight home and all that, and boy, I was happy. I did take a ride to Charleston and back, but I didn't do a video on it. And I tried to do a review video on this bike, and it didn't pan out very well. But I'll be giving you a few pointers on this bike. I mean, yeah, it handled like a sport bike. It performs like a sport bike. I mean, the only couple of downers are it puts out a lot of heat. It puts out a lot of heat, man, and the comfort. This is not good for long distance riding. And another thing, the 150 cc motor, 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 the 150 cc This bike is not for newbies. If you're a newbie and if you're stuck on getting on the Ducati, get an 821 or maybe a 797 or maybe one of those Scrambler 800s or 400s or whatever Scrambler they got available. When I got this bike, it came with the Pirelli Corsa 3s, I think. But now I got on a set of Bridgestone Battle Axe tires on them right now. They're sport touring tires, so they should last probably just as long as the Pirellis. So yeah, man. Oh, hey. Also, in October, between October 30th and November 1st, I think, I'm going to be at the IMS Outdoor in Conyers, Georgia. If you guys are interested in meeting me there, we can hook up and we'll probably just, ride. But now, I don't know how much longer I'm going to keep this bike, though, because I'm already working on putting in an application for a loan for my next bike. But I'm gonna give you a couple of hints, though. The first hint is going to be an ADV bike. I've been looking at ADVs for a while now. I've been doing some research and everything. So, I mean, yeah, I've ridden bikes like the BMW GS, the Triumph Tigers, and recently I tested the Harley Pan America. I love that bike. And the second hint is going to be roughly around between 900 and 1200 cc's. That's the second clue. So that's all I'm going to give you right there. Yeah, man, everybody, boy, that's going to do it for me. I'm Don Main. And as always, until next time, keep it safe, keep it up. Deuce! And I'll see you next time. Later. I'm going to enjoy this ride. And I'm going to go home and cook dinner.